Hello, my name is Patrick O'Brien, and my presentation is titled Exploitation of Public Lands by Framing as Energy Independence. I will discuss how this term has been used to exploit public lands for further fossil fuel extraction and what some solutions are to real energy independence and what this could look like in the future. Over the past several years, we have seen a push for energy independence. The use of this term has gained a lot of popularity because many Americans don't feel comfortable relying on foreign countries to supply us with oil, gas, and other types of energy. On the surface, when reading this statement and the thought behind it, it does seem like a good idea. However, the reality behind the push for energy independence is that it will come at the cost of our public lands. The term energy independence has been used to create executive and secretarial orders to dictate the use of public lands in pursuit of increased fossil fuel production. The pursuit of this quote unquote energy independence has come at the expense of other uses and other shareholders of this land. Putting politics aside, there is only one surefire way to be completely and indefinitely energy independent, and that is to adopt 100% renewable energy. So, what are public lands? Public lands are lands that are owned by the American people and held in trust by the U.S. government. These lands include national parks and forests, BLM land, wildlife refuges, and national monuments, to name a few. Americans share ownership of around 600 million acres of land and water in the U.S. These lands provide countless opportunities for a wide variety of individuals, organizations, and companies. However, through the framing of energy independence, it could be argued that these lands were managed with only the fossil fuel shareholders in mind, and not considering all the other shareholders that benefit from these lands. In fact, for the greatest number of shareholders to benefit, the reduction and eventual stop of fossil fuel production on public lands would be the best path forward. Considering the reliance our society has on fossil fuels, this might seem like a lofty and even impossible goal. However, taking small steps in this direction will eventually put us in a space where this is possible. The first step in this journey is better communication. Better communication around this subject will lead to better policies being formed. If energy independence is something that should be accomplished, then more solutions need to be brought to the table besides more fossil fuel extraction on public lands. Making the transition to renewable energy would not only contribute to our energy independence, it is something that we would not have to worry about running out of, importing from other countries, and would not increase greenhouse gas emissions. Another step in the direction of true energy independence would be the transition to electric vehicles. Making the switch to electric transportation would cut out the need to import gas and oil from other countries. Also, coupled with the move to alternative energy, it would get rid of the need for fossil fuel extraction on domestic and especially public lands. Not only would electric cars help create energy independence from foreign exporters, it could help American individuals become energy independent from their energy company. Individuals can install their own solar panels on top of their house, charge their electric car, and create their own energy independence. A potential downside to this transition to renewable energy would be cost, and if the cost of transitioning to renewable energy on public lands would outweigh the benefits they would provide. It turns out that this transition could actually save money over time. If just coal plants were shut down, the savings could be more than $2.5 billion, which is money that could go straight to renewable energy projects. These savings would continue to add up over time, as it is cheaper to fuel a car with electricity than it is with gasoline or diesel, and it is less expensive to heat a building with an electric heat pump than it is to burn natural gas. The drawbacks of transitioning to alternative energy sites on public lands is that they could take up large amounts of area. This would probably have a similar effect that fossil fuel infrastructure has. The difference would be the amount of CO2 emissions produced. Almost 1/4 of CO2 emissions in the US comes from fossil fuel production on public lands. As we can see, becoming energy independent involves a lot more than simply drilling more and opening up more public lands to this drilling. However, over the past few years, energy independence has been framed by saying the only way to lessen dependence on foreign energy is to extract more fossil fuels. Therefore, appropriate and effective science communication is important. Moreover, science communication based on solutions is important. Advocacy for renewable energy sources should outline the myriad of benefits it can have, including environmental, economic, health, and security. We can all agree that energy independence is something to strive for, and bolstering our renewable energy output is a way to get there. Thank you for listening to my presentation.